What does it mean to be a hopeless romantic? Because you know what? It doesn't feel hopeless to me. And if anything, I think being a hopeless romantic means that you have hope for your future relationships. But the truth is, we all carry around these beliefs about how things are supposed to be. And when those beliefs don't line up with reality, we can get ourselves into some pretty bad situations. So let's talk about what it really means to be a hopeless romantic, and why it can be such a double-edged sword. So here's the thing. Being a hopeless romantic is not inherently bad. In fact, I would argue that it's a good thing to go through life with a bit of idealism in your heart. It gives you something to aspire to, a vision of what could be if you just hold on to that hope and work towards creating the kind of relationship that you want. But the problem arises when your ideals become so fixed in your mind that you refuse to compromise or adjust them based on new information. That's when it goes from being a strength to becoming a weakness. The first sign that someone is a hopeless romantic is that they tend to fall in love with the idea of love. And while that might sound sweet and innocent enough, the truth is that it can lead to some pretty bad decisions. For example, someone who falls in love with the idea of being in love might stay in a relationship too long because they're afraid of giving up on that dream. Or they might choose to ignore red flags because they don't want to believe that their happily ever after is in jeopardy. At its core, this tendency comes from a fear of abandonment or low self-worth. If you believe that you are not worthy of love, then you will always be willing to settle for less than you deserve, because anything is better than nothing, right? But by doing so, you're selling yourself short and you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of unhappiness. And that's why it's important to be aware of this tendency in yourself, and to make sure that you're not letting your fear of being alone cloud your judgment. You see, being a hopeless romantic can also mean that you have unrealistic expectations of your partner. You might expect them to be perfect or to meet all of your emotional needs, which is never fair to them or to you, because no one is perfect and no one can fulfill every single one of your desires. This can lead to constant disappointment and frustration in your relationship. Here's the truth. A healthy relationship is one in which both partners are able to be their true selves and still feel loved and accepted. It's not about finding someone who completes you or makes you happy all the time. It's about finding someone who loves you for who you are and who you can love back unconditionally. But when you're a hopeless romantic, you might find it hard to see your partner as a real person with flaws and imperfections. Instead, you might put them on a pedestal and expect them to live up to an unrealistic standard. When they inevitably make mistakes or let you down, you'll be left feeling disappointed and disillusioned, because they are simply human. They are not the perfect person that you've created in your mind, but that's okay. Disappointment is a part of life. What matters is how you choose to deal with it. Do you allow it to break your heart and cause you to give up on the relationship? Or do you confront it head-on and use it as an opportunity to grow and learn? Because here's the thing, no one is perfect. We all make mistakes, and we all have the capacity for great love and great hurt. That's what makes us human. That's what makes us relatable. And that's what makes relationships so complicated. But if you're a hopeless romantic, you might not want to hear that. You might want to believe that love is perfect and that happily ever afters do exist. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to believe that, but you have to be careful. Don't let your imagination run wild and cause you to make bad decisions. Don't let your fear of abandonment or low self-worth lead you into a bad relationship. You see, being a hopeless romantic can also mean that you're prone to idealizing your partner. You might put them on a pedestal and make them out to be someone they're not. This can lead to a lot of problems down the road when you realize that they are not the person that you thought they were. Because once you start building up this fantasy version of your partner in your mind, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. You're basically creating a gap between your expectations of them and their reality. And as they say, expectations are the mother of all disappointments. But here's the truth. Your partner is not perfect. They're not the person that you think they are, and they never will be. They are human. They have flaws and imperfections, and they will make mistakes. And that's okay. That's what makes them real, relatable, and ultimately more attractive. But if you're a hopeless romantic, you might not want to hear that. You might want to believe that your partner is perfect and that they will never let you down. And again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to believe that. But you have to be careful. Don't let your imagination run wild and cause you to make bad decisions. Don't let your fear of abandonment or low self-worth lead you into a bad relationship. The third and final sign that someone is a hopeless romantic is that they have a hard time moving on from past relationships. And while that might sound sad or even pathetic, the truth is that it's actually a strength. To be able to move on and let go of the past is a sign of maturity and emotional resilience. It means that you're able to take responsibility for your own happiness and not wait for someone else to make you happy. It means that you're strong enough to stand on your own 2 feet and keep moving forward, even when you're heartbroken. But if you're a hopeless romantic, you might not want to hear that. You might want to believe that your soulmate is out there waiting for you, and that you just need to hold on a little longer, and everything will work out in the end. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to believe that, but you have to be careful. Don't let your imagination run wild and cause you to make bad decisions. Don't let your fear of abandonment or low self-worth lead you into a bad relationship. You see, being a hopeless romantic can also mean that you have unrealistic expectations of love and relationships. You might expect them to last forever and never change, which is just not realistic. Love is a verb. It's something that you have to nurture and care for every single day. It's not a feeling that just happens to you once upon a time and then you live happily ever after. Relationships require work, commitment, and compromise. And if you're a hopeless romantic, you might not want to hear that. You might want to believe that love is perfect and that happily ever afters do exist. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to believe that, but you have to be careful. Don't let your imagination run wild and cause you to make bad decisions. Don't let your fear of abandonment or low self-worth lead you into a bad relationship. You see, being a hopeless romantic is not a bad thing. It's a strength. It's a vision for the kind of love that you want in your life. But you have to be careful. Don't let that vision cloud your judgment and cause you to make bad decisions. Don't let your fear of abandonment or low self-worth lead you into a bad relationship. So I ask you, what does it mean to be a hopeless romantic? How does it affect the way that you view love and relationships? And are there any downsides to being a hopeless romantic? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the like button and share it with a friend. Subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.